All right. Dipping into a little historic today. Going to be doing some historic every single day from now on. Thanks for the feedback on the sub survey. Thanks to everybody that took a part in that. We're kicking off with some Soul Siblings today. So Soul Siblings is an archetype that refers to a white life gain based deck that plays cards that gain life when they come into play. So we've got Daxos, the Blessed Sun, and Soul Warden here are the Soul Siblings. Then our payoffs for gaining life in this deck include Serra Ascendant, another direct to historic card. As long as you have 30 life or more, it gets +5/+5, and flying. We've got Ajani's Pridemate, which gets bigger when you gain life. We've got Heliod, which powers up whatever you want when you gain life. And then we've got Strength of the Pride here to put counters on a bunch of your stuff. And also give you life and make more Pridemates. Gargoyle, thank you for the brand new, or the 11 months. God, got pulled a Biden there and just can't pull my foot out of my mouth. Thanks for the 11 months of support. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Yeah, the natural light through the window casts quite the shadow. Looking forward to having a real stream room done and having some proper lighting. Thanks for the brand new Prime support, Eric Tron. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Ooh, video games have sound effects, chat. You know, the thing. The thing, chat. Can we get a dog-faced pony soldier emote? If the really sad thing happens and Biden gets the nom, we'll add a dog-faced pony soldier emote. I think we can make that happen. Hopefully we won't need that and Bernie will get the nom, but on the off chance terrible things happen, we could do that. All right, anywho, what do I want to bottom here? I have a lot of ones. I feel like I'm supposed to bottom this and just hope to draw another one. I think is the plan, as opposed to bottoming like my payoff or my heavy devotion card here. Hey, well, thanks for taking the time to figure that out, Eric Tron. I wouldn't be here din and dat without supportive folks like you, so thanks for keeping me around. Dog-faced pony soldier, did I miss something? That is an dog-faced pony soldier is an actual insult that Joe Biden slung at at a person at his rally. Those are actual words that fell out of the mouth of a presidential candidate. I definitely can, Gargoyle. He's actually said it multiple times to multiple different people. Yeah, and then he lied about the origin of where it came from, or misremembered the origin. Okay. Huh? I don't want to play Ajani because I think it's pretty likely to die, so I think we just go Pridemate Ascendant here. It is very timid and tame compared to the things that come out of Trump's mouth. That is accurate. I think I'm just gaining 2 here, as opposed to making a thing they can just shock. This is pretty unfortunate. They get to activate their castle and then kill my Pridemate here. Okay. I mean, to be fair, they need to kill all of our stuff. If they stop killing our things at any point, our things gain a bunch of life. This is my 2/4. So if they want to kill this, they have to block with everything, and then I get to trade this for both of these, right? If they go block, block, castle, it's only 6. We're definitely en route to stabilization until they draw a Torbrand or a Frenzy or something like that. I guess this attack is... Well, okay, I shouldn't have attacked with the Daxos. I get it. I shouldn't have attacked with the Daxos. I understand. Time yourself out. I think it's correct to trade my Linden in to flip this over. I think that's a worthwhile exchange for me. So I go up to 15 here. I guess this isn't even that good, right? Because, like, I have to chump block. Because they're going to activate castle. If they activate castle, I'm taking 15. Yeah, feels bad, man. Yeah, that attack with Daxos 2 turns ago was real bad. Torbrand coming off the top. Oh, you know, I should have attacked with this, right? Because I don't think I'm chumping with it. Yeah, I should have attacked with this Healer Hawk. I did kill her. I'm gonna add a command for her. We have one for Bloom. Yeah, it's not gonna do it. When your life gain deck loses to red aggro, feels Magic 2020, man. All right, so Baffling End, Conclave Tribunal. I think I get rid of this. Maybe trim one of these. It's a little slow. Let's give this a try. I hope not, Aaron. There is a tweet in my timeline just now that said Warren does not plan to endorse any candidate at her rally this afternoon. Yeah, I mean, like, I know we just lost that first game, but, like, I think, and, like, we might lose this game because our 6 kind of sucks. But, like, on average, I think this deck is a pretty okay red matchup. Correct. It is not unusual. This is unfortunately not a creature yet. So this doesn't trigger. Man, that's brutal. Oh. I don't know if it's that strictly good game. Like if we draw something that turns on Heliod this turn, we could be okay, or we could draw a removal spell for Torbrand and be kind of okay. I think Heliod needed to be active this turn. Like I said, our opening hand was kind of weak, and then like we drew another Heliod. But presidents don't normally endorse people during the primary, Blue Lemons. From my understanding. So Obama likely won't endorse a specific person in the Dem primary, but will endorse whoever the nominee is in the general election. Any plans for the weekend? Yeah, we're having people over to play board games on Saturday night. I think that's it. What does my calendar say? Oh, we're taking the kids for a hike on Sunday afternoon as well with their Cub Pack. Couple different things. YOLO. Well, we get to try and prove that our red matchup's okay, right? Hopefully we hit our land here. Not quite mono red. Path of Metal is sweet. And we're dead. Got it. We don't strictly play board games for the 4-year-old, but we usually play one or two that Declan can jam with. The Mountain King game was actually really good a couple weeks ago when we played it. I wouldn't mind playing that again. I think I'm boarding just like we boarded against the mono red deck, cutting in Ajani and some Lindens here. I think is my plan. I mean, in my low average quality expectations of TV shows, it's fine. Never heard of that one, Ostin. Thanks for the 10 months, Beefcake. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Federal courts reject Tulsi's Gabbard bias suit against Google, noting that the online search giant is not a government entity bound by the First Amendment. I'm so glad to see courts upholding online services' ability to ban whoever they want and restrict whatever kind of speech they want. And in my opinion, they should not be making private ends do things they don't want to do. I'm leaning on Daxos as opposed to this because I think them killing my Soul Warden is incredibly likely. So if I play this, good chance it doesn't get a counter. Start by attacking for 2. No turn 2 play here is good for us. Rampaging Ferocity. Well, let's nip that one in the bud, huh? Let's get that one right on out of here, shall we? Hunga. I don't think I've heard of that one either. There's a lot of good games out there. Rampaging boy is very, very scary. Yikes. Well, shoot. Yeah, but if I play the landing first, I don't get to gain life when the token comes into play, chat. Because the Frostodon would stop Daxos. For people that don't understand why I did the sequencing I did. It was gaining a life and putting a counter on this versus 3 damage. Yeah, it looks like we're just gonna die to this Frostodon. Rough set today. We're gonna win a match at some point, I swear, chat. I swear we're gonna win a match eventually. I guess I could just race here, huh? Oh, I'm so dumb. Oh, I completely missed that. If I was going to attack, I could have played both of these. That's a pretty big mistake, actually. Could have had an extra 2/2 here, and with them at 5, the 2/2 really matters. Yeah. Could be the not having that 2/2 could be the difference between killing them or not here. I threw away Daxos to flip my Legion's landing, Brad. So the attack with Daxos was on purpose, to flip landing. Do I want Disenchant to deal with Banishing Light? You play Ajani first, you still flip landing. That's not sure. I need to attack that turn. I only had 3 attackers. Oh, you're saying... Okay, so that's why the detail matters. So I could have gotten its devotion higher. Sure, that's accurate. I didn't think about that. So I could have had Daxos instead of a 1/1. Sure. Details, chat. I think I'm gonna cut these Vanguards against their deck and bring in these Disenchants. I think I'm gonna bring in a couple of Ajanis too. To have a little bit go bigger. I'm trim a couple Hawks too. They have their what's it called card, the metal that deals 1 damage to everything. So cutting some of my things with 1 toughness, especially on the draw, seems appealing. Hey, Brackdoor. Thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to Oaklandia. Hope you're having a wonderful Thursday wherever you're at. Yeah, this sounds good. I actually think not having a 1-drop here isn't a big deal. Because of Path of Metal. When it comes into play, it deals 1 damage to a bunch of things. Well, I mean, I have it, and it's going to be sad when it gets killed by Path of Metal, but we're definitely not playing it. So, Finisher. Yep, deals 1 damage to each creature that doesn't have Vigilance, Haste, or Double Strike. Dear opponent, please don't Rampaging Frosted on me. Okay. Hopefully they were just throwing that away to flip this over. Yeah, they want to trade 2 for 1. I'm okay with that too. I think I play Heliod here, so that way next turn I can go land, Pridemate, just be resource efficient. Okay. Goodbye, friend. The scary part about them being stuck on 3 lands here is the fact that it means they have 3 spells in their hand. This thing deals 2 damage to each opponent. Choose a creature that attacked and destroy it. Please don't kill both my Pridemates. Please don't kill both my Pridemates. Please don't kill both my Pridemates. Oh right. Chandra sitting on board and does that. Yikes. Well, you know. I think I have to hold this in the event that they have another Frostodon. So we're going to take 5-6 here. We'll Baffling End, Taijik. We'll Lifelink Pridemate, kill Chandra. Go back up to 8. Oh, I'm so dumb. Holy crap. I just talked about it too. It's been an off morning chat. That's huge. So I should be plus 3 life here. Because this would be a 3/3 right now if I had given it lifelink when they attacked. Then I would have lifelink for 3 again, so I would have lifelink for 2 last turn. Oh, I'd be plus 4 life actually. Yeah, if I die, I deserve to die. It's a huge miss. All right, don't call it a comeback. Whew. She totally does trigger on any inch of the battlefield, doesn't she? Heliod cannot lifelink itself. I didn't mess that one up. Heliod does not lifelink himself. It's fair to assume I just messed that up though, because I did just mess it up a second ago. So, you know. I don't think I'm supposed to attack. I could attack with everything and like hope they destroy the indestructible one. I did qualify for the MCQ. We'll be playing that on the 14th or whenever that is, in 9 days. They're playing a Boros deck built around flipping Path of Metal. How was Modern this morning? We didn't win a match, but we had a lot of fun anyways. Is it crazy to attack with everything here? Probably need to wait a little bit still. Maybe wait for them to not have a 3-1. So this, for people not aware of Tower, it destroys an attacking creature at random, which could get really unlucky for them and hit my indestructible creature. Yeah, there is. I think you're right. There's a good chance I just don't lose here, assuming I play conservatively. It's like the inverse of real life. If I play conservatively here, I'm a huge favorite to win. Whereas if I play conservatively on the ballot in November, my country's guaranteed to lose. Make the right choice, chat. For people wondering, Heliod cannot lifelink himself. It was a tortured analogy. Listen, the truth ain't always pretty. We have to be playing Mono Blue Devotion to say things like that. Lol. Alright, let's auto stack these triggers. The order doesn't really matter in this deck. Did we wait too long? Did we wait too long?
I am proud to fight by your side. Deliver us to victory.
We didn't play it this morning, Theo, but I did add it to the deck queue. I don't know, figure it out. We're no longer winning a long game with rampaging for us. All right, 1 in 6, chat. 1 in 6 for this to do nothing. Remember, Magic is nothing like gambling. Definitely not related to gambling. Nothing to see here, folks. Move along. Ajani Pump Flyer Swing Out. What's flying? What is flying on my board right now? I think we're still in a fine spot. I agree. I think we're still a favorite to win here. Not guaranteed, but definitely a favorite. We're going to get to take Frostodon off the board with blocks. Most likely. So we don't gain life from the lifelink because Frostodon's still in play when damage happens. Yeah, they're only big because of Heliod. Heliod's hanging out, bumping up the jam. Pump up, the bump up, the wump up, the jam. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Game 3? No, this is game 3. We won? Are we on the scoreboard? Are we on the scoreboard, chat? I told you we were bound to win a match this morning eventually. I told you, chat. Oh, gosh. Am I supposed to play around, flip, and settle the wreckage? And you're dead. I think not having 4 Once Upon a Time in that list is criminal, especially when there's silly one-ofs like Utopia Sprawl. But other than that, the core of it looks fine. Settle is a very emotionally taxing card, for sure. Yeah, this is great. 1, 2, 3. It's just curvamentary. What could it be? How hard is it for Bernie to win the nomination fight right now? Not impossible. There's still a lot of votes to be cast. Get out and vote. Send some text messages, knock on some doors. Joke's on you. I didn't want to cast these spells anyways. Really? The blue-black deck left me... Huh. Do they have a way to get rid of this I'm not thinking of? Like, Heliod plus Castle alone could win this game. Yeah, libation or eat if it, It's a good pickup. Yeah, I guess, like, main deck libation isn't completely unheard of. Yeah, if I activate it, they have contempt as well. Yeah, maybe they thought they'd keep the board contained too, but with Castle, that's just not possible, right? Winged Words. Interesting. So they're playing like a blue-black tempo deck? Joke's on you, opponent. I've got nothing to remorse over. Healer Squawk. Grow, my children, grow.
A pure soul can inspire others.
Maybe I'm supposed to just lifelink one of these? I don't know, going wider seems better, right? There's still about 2,500 delegates up for grabs. That's a good metric. So there's 2,500 up for grabs. Bernie has almost 400. You need 1,900 to win. I think I leave Daxos in my hand here because I have this land here. So I could just make a token this turn and then Daxos make another token next turn, which is nice. Thanks, Akim. I always try to stay grounded in reality, and I'm glad I can help others do the same. Bernie has 531? Really? Oh, I guess I haven't checked it recently. Bernie does have 531. He's about 65 behind Biden. This is a real live tracker of delegate counts, by the way. For anybody that's interested in bookmarking that as well. Yeah, once more of Cali gets counted, Bernie will get closer. Hey, Colemanio, thank you for the 47 months of support. That's a long time. Gonna have another castle in here soon. So we're gonna go ahead and make this token a 2/2. And then this turn, it can become much bigger than 2/2. That's great. So this comes into play and pumps this up to a 2/2, a 3/3. Then I'm going to go ahead and attack both of these. Wait. If I attack them with everything, it's not quite lethal. All right, let's just attack with these. Oh, I forgot to play the land. Oh, I'm dumb. I was so excited. I'm going to miss a lifelink activation here, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. So they block here. I make a token, which lets me put 2 counters on here and trade with their 3/3. So could have lifelinked one of these and gotten another Heliod trigger if I had sequenced better there. You say you kept the land to player on Discovery's personal? Nah, I ain't about that life. Maybe I should actually though. I don't know. Keeping Heliod there is pretty important, huh? All right, so something that's important to note with this deck that I think a lot of people do wrong with decks like what we're playing. This is not a card that beats sweepers. And I know that feels weird to say looking at its text, but this is a card in the sideboard to break board stalls. Holding up 3 mana to try and counter like a Ritual of Soot or another 4 or 5 mana sweeper is incredibly difficult in a deck like what we're playing because you're frequently tapping out. So this is not in the sideboard as an anti-control card. That's what our extra planeswalkers are for. This is in my sideboard as an anti-mid-range card because you cast this, make your board indestructible, and then crunch in with more creatures is the general idea. All right, I think I'm going to trim Leonin Vanguard here because it's a card that encourages us to go wide against the control deck, which is not stellar. I don't think I want Baffling End, even though they showed us Thief of Sanity. I think I'd rather just do this. Yeah, it's something that I don't think is super intuitive. Like when you look at it, you're like, oh, this card's good against sweepers, I should board it in. But when you think about how those games actually play out, while there are a very small subset of situations where it's gonna counter a sweeper, oftentimes you're gonna be tapped out, and then you're gonna be left with this instant in your hand that just doesn't do anything. Dear opponent, please don't cry me a river. I am here to aid in the assault.
I will lend you my strength.
Lend you my strength. Do I even extend here? I guess if we get like Vraska's Contempt, then I feel bad. Just filled out the Twitch RPG survey for 500 bits. Sign up if you haven't. Ooh. Do you have a link to that, Silence, so other people can sign up? Morghaven Cast, thank you for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. The only Democrat, and I use air quotes around Democrat, very, very loose in the definition of Democrat, that I would not support in the general election was Michael Bloomberg. He's a Republican. I will happily, I don't know about happily strong. I will show up and vote for Joe Biden. I hope I don't have to do that. I hope to go to vote for Bernie Sanders in the general election. TwitchRPG.com is the sign-up site. That lack of enthusiasm is why I don't think Biden can beat Trump. Yeah, we'll see. So again, like, as someone who wants Bernie to get the nom, but is also grounded in reality, Biden had an incredible amount of voter turnout in the southern states that he won. Now, in the general election, those southern states, their votes won't count Democrat. So, like, if he can generate similar voter turnouts in Democratic states, that's more important. So keeping an eye on which states vote Dem in the general and what people do there. Hillary won the same southern states and it didn't help her much. Yeah, I think there's a strong possibility that Joe Biden is our Hillary Clinton this campaign cycle. Perfect for filling out our curve here. So, if I play this out, these get bigger this turn, but I'd rather do this while they don't have counter magic up, and this doesn't die to a sweeper next turn, which I think is ideal. There's the shatter. Hey, Atheist Vengeance, thanks for the 17 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. This was a phenomenal draw.
I protect those who cannot protect themselves. True friends always stand by your side.
True friends always stand by your side. Landing does not maintain devotion after it becomes land.
My pride grows stronger.
Oh, this was actually wrong. I should have put a counter on Linden here, because getting Linden, or the Pridemate, getting a creature to 4 power meant that I would have been able to draw a card should my opponent play a shatter here. So if they shatter, I'm down a card. Okay, well. Oh, Heliod will let us draw. Yeah, good call. Good call. I think I'm holding on to this for post sweeper. Let's get everything 4/4 or bigger. Bye, Felicia. Again, boarding its control deck, trimming these because they have sweepers. Seems fine. Submit, submit, submit. So I talked about this during the last match, Demonger. Formation is not in the sideboard of this deck for sweepers. I think that's a card people incorrectly board in a lot of the times in these sweeper matchups, especially in matchups against Teferi. I think even without considering Teferi, it's frequently difficult to hold up 3 mana on the turns you need to protect from a sweeper. And when they have Teferi in play, you just can't respond to things. Biden does not have great ratings from things like the Sunrise Movement in terms of his ideal and preferred climate change policy. Just like Bernie Sanders is the healthcare candidate, Bernie Sanders is the climate change candidate. Yeah, he has a very bad record. So, very bad rating. I think I'm just supposed to Heliod plus Ascendant here. And then we can Ajani next turn. Like, they have veto mana up here, so I don't know that I really want to jam Ajani into that. Not getting it syncopated also feels good. Those are my number 1 and number 2 issues of selection cycle, which is why I would like Bernie Sanders to win. We would at least get back into the Paris Accords with Biden. That is a low bar that he sets. Alright, settle me, daddy. Everything went so much worse than expected, chat. Everything went so much worse than expected. I think we're dead here. We just don't have enough pressure with that happening. Let's get him game 3 on the play, huh? Why is there no Walking Ballista in our deck? Asking the real questions. Was anywhere near acceptable. We didn't win a match. We had a lot of fun losing. 6 out of 10 would do again. Well, they can't shatter us this turn, right? It's like, who's got 2 thumbs and isn't playing around things? This guy right here. We had folks add 2 more modern decks to the queue. For people that didn't hear me say it, our morning slot is going to be becoming just Magic Online format. So I'm taking Modern, Legacy, Pauper, and Vintage submissions. As always, full details on my website. Or also, for people who are fans of Historic on Magic Arena, submissions for this have been open for a while, and we'll continue to be doing Historic every day. When the new Historic Anthology drops a week from today, I'm planning to start doing 2 Historic decks per day. So if you have historic decks you'd like to see based around the new cards, get them in. When do you think Dredge gets played? Yeah, most of the Pioneer decks are above 60 points. It's been a little bit backed up. So probably next week, week after at the latest. Once I work through the backlog of Moto decks that were submitted for low dollar amounts, the turnaround will become a lot better. I think I attack with 3 things here to try and do my best to play around a Settle the Wreckage. Like, you need to attack with 3 things, so that way they can't just, like, seal away and live. You think Vanifier combo? I mean, who said Vanifier combo is not good enough for this format? I certainly didn't. It's not crazy at all that Warren dropped. She did not have a realistic path to the presidency. And I'm glad I was wrong about her staying in to play spoiler. Her staff said she is not endorsing anybody at her concession rally today. Is Warren dropping help Bernie? Possibly. Bloomberg dropping also helps Biden most likely. We'll see. I am just glad that the people that didn't have a realistic shot at winning are finally all out. Asterisk, Tulsi Gabbard's still a turd now and forever. And that we can just, like, have the American people, the American Democrats, decide which of the 2 that have a chance can actually win the nom. Yeah, we had a very good aggressive draw on the play, Shrew. Good luck with the rest of your historic event. Sounds good, Rhino. I do think one of my goals, by the way, for people that are talking about the Moto formats in the morning, I think my goal is going to be, so long as we have multiple formats worth of Moto decks in the queue, that I'm going to rotate through the different formats. So I think even if 2 days in a row I have Pioneer decks at the top of the queue, or 2 days in a row I have Modern decks at the top of the queue, I'm going to alternate back and forth a little bit once I've cleared out some of the Pioneer backlog. So, like, if someone bumps up something a huge amount, we'll get to the same format 2 days in a row. But unless there's a huge discrepancy, if things are close, I plan to rotate through formats pretty regularly. Variety is the spice of life. I think even if we mostly get beat up in Moto formats, if we rotate through a variety one, it can be pretty reasonable. In my opinion, all of the commentary you hear about Bernie Sanders not being capable of beating Donald Trump in the general election are perpetrated by media, which is owned by billionaires who stand to lose the most if Bernie gets the nomination. In other words, they're incredibly biased sources that are trying to create fear, uncertainty, and doubt in order to discourage people from voting for the candidate they would like to see win. That's unfortunate. So I think we just attack with these 2. Nothing too bad in there to get back if they chump block this. Serra would not get pumped if we attack with everything, because I could only attack with 4 things. I just played these. Is Heliod our best draw? Yeah, hands down. If we draw Heliod, the game's almost assuredly over. Like, we get to just power up a whole myriad of flying creatures next turn if we rip him. If I attack with everything, do they die? They come pretty close, right? If you're confused as to what electability means straight white male and ideally Christian. The concept of electability is thinly veiled racism. Alright, so if we attack with everything, this is a 6/6, which means this that gets to attack through these. Maybe I just attack with everything except Linden, because if they want to use these 5/6s to eat 1/1s, I'm okay with that. This also flips over my Legion's Landing, which is great. Yeah, even if I attack with everything, they go block, 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 and they only take 4. So if I'm only putting them to 1 anyways, I think I don't want to throw her away. Linden's not lethal, right? They'd go block this, block this, block this, and they take 2, 3, 4. This can't attack. I just played this. Yeah, token just came down. Bump up, the wump up, the jam. Do. All right, this game isn't just over yet. Jerry, thank you for the 19 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. They put Fabled Passage on top of their deck. Really? Is that actively good for them? Don't know about you, but I'm feeling 42. So this kills these. Sure. And they're going to get to gain 3 life here on the back of Uro coming back into play. What was their sleeve? This is a Gaia's Cradle artwork sleeve. This was available from the historic event they did last year, I believe. I kicked him for a fling effect, right? Ajani off the top would clean him right out. Heliod off the top probably also lets us get things big enough to be pretty well off here. Which would be nice. Yup. Feels Simic, man. Yep, we are making a 1/1. Oh, remember when they were at 2 a second ago? Pepperidge Farm, remember? Shit. They were at 2 with no cards in hand and a land on top of their deck. Oh, you know what, Marty? I forgot to put Shadow Spear in this list. We put in the standard build, and I forgot to put it into the historic build when we loaded it up today. I mean, I guess we just abyss them. Just like hoping to draw a Heliod or a 4-mana Ajani at this point. Make some 1/1s while we do it. Yeah, they get to throw Blaststone back up on top of their deck. That takes 2 turns to kill my Pridemate, though. Yep, should be a historic focused state of the game today. Someone said those usually come out between 2 and 3 p.m. Eastern, which would be about 2 to 3 hours from now. We should still be live when it comes out, hopefully, so we can talk about it. I plan to be live till about 2:30 Central today. Oh, they can untap it with Nissa. Yeah, that's a good catch. Let's see if they see that line. That would be very, very clever from the opponent. This morning was fun. We didn't win a single match, but we also had fun in the games that we played, so kind of a success overall, I think. The threshold for Ajani is 35 life, right? If I recall. So if I block here, it works out exactly for me. I guess I'm gonna get to gain 1 more, and I'll gain 1 from this. So we'll take 4 total from this attack. Yeah, dropped this morning, Marty. Super, super glad I was wrong. Bloomberg dropped yesterday. Nissa becomes indestructible, makes her lands indestructible next turn, and I think we're just dead, right? Feels dead. I mean, that's the tough part about playing a deck like this, right, chat? Like, you have good aggressive starts, but then, like, you're drawing Healer's Hawks on turn 12, and they're drawing Nissas and Hydroid Creases. It's gotta take your lumps with the territory. Is it crazy to just click submit here? Like, they're not super interactive. When we were playing this matchup in Standard, we were just, like, trying to run them down. I feel like that's kind of the plan here. Yeah, I feel like Cage for Uro is too narrow. I feel like if I wanted to hedge Uro, I'd rather bring in Baffling End, which I might do on the draw, because Baffling End tags Uro and Crisis. I have no idea who that is, AGH. Yeah, maybe splitting Linden with Gideon makes sense because they're both legendary and they're not interacting with Linden a ton. I could see that being okay. Yeah, we needed a second or third threat that game, like a Heliod or an Ajani to, like, have a bunch of things they had to answer. The fact that they could just, like, throw one thing in front of our big Pridemate every turn meant we just weren't good enough. This hand is lacking in payoff like the last one, but I think it's keepable. We'll Leonin Vanguard on one here. It's also important to remember that, like, last game our opponent played a Grazer on one, and then Grazer on one blocked them a lot, and they were at 2 at one point, so... This starts very sweet. We get to gain 1 and attack for 2 here. And then next turn we get to go land, Linden, attack with the 3 things, flip, landing, play Serra. And then we should be attacking with a 6/6 Serra on turn 4 here, most likely. Yeah, this isn't quite a Pridemate as a payoff, but it is still a payoff, right? So gain 1, gain 3, gain 4, 5. And then next turn, when Linden's triggers happen, we'll have a Serra that's big. The evasion isn't nearly as important in this matchup just because, like, Grazer chump blocks and so does Cavalier Thorns. Good example of some of the strength of our deck here, though. Just like, let's get linear. I want to get linear. Let's get into linear. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Be-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Whoo, doggy. A diba, that's all, folks. Was that a good draw? If so, please explain. Triggers, power up the squad. Auto order triggered ability is a huge quality of life improvement for this archetype. And should they try and put blockers down next turn, Strength of the Pride's just like sitting here ready to go. Alright, you get to kill my 1-drops with your Blast Zone. Still just dead to Ajani. Nah, I think Nyx Fleece isn't particularly useful or exciting. They have Brazen Borrower here, I'm pretty sad. I think it's correct to just do this and try and kill them. Otherwise they get to block in combat. Yeah, I don't know. Like, if Linden had been Gideon that game, we would not have done the thing. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm just gonna leave it and click submit. Yeah, I don't know, Pino. Like, I feel like if we're trying to control the board, that kind of means we're in a losing position. And I'd rather just, like, try and get ahead and stay ahead. Splash red for fling memes. I don't know about that one. I mean, a lukewarm take, Marty, is that, like, Thalia's never very good. She's just annoying, so people like to play her. I think that's probably like a lukewarm true take. Let's go ahead, Eternal Witness. My sub is 1/12 of the way to being able to buy beer. Hopefully here's to many more great months. Thanks for the 21 months, Eternal Witness. Sorry, I'm all over the place. This is going to be, win or lose, this is going to be our last match with the Soul Siblings deck. We're going to roll on into some blue-red flash and standard up next. I'm going to lead on Leonin Vanguard here again because Leonin Vanguard attacks for 2 on turn 2. That's pretty good against Ajani too. Really glad I didn't bring in Gideon now. Yep. I think I trade here. That's a pretty good one. Guess I attack like this. I don't mind throwing this away. And they might trade here, or they could jump block. We'll see. Flipping that over when we attack lets me play this out. So this gives us a 4th mana source. If they play another questing beast, my Pridemate token will turn into a 4/4 thanks to Warden, and we'll be able to trade, which is nice. We're also almost, this being a 6/6, we're getting close to this being able to fully pop off, which is great. She is a lot like an inverted Death Shadow. You're not wrong. Hey, MCO, thanks for the support. Actually, I need to figure out, I guess, I'm probably just making another thing with this, right? Yeah, so I missed a token on this. That's whatever. I think if they want to eat one of these in order to, and then not chump my 9/9, I think that's good for me. Because I think, like, their best route back into this game is, what's it called, Blast Zone anyways. So I just want to, like, I don't mind throwing away a 1-drop for some damage. The Pridemate tokens have CMC. They do not. Who's excited to stack those triggers while your phone's on fire, right? I mean, even if they have Blast Zone here, right? Like, I still have 2 giant Pridemates. Like, we're still in a pretty okay spot. Alright, if this finds Blast Zone, and they also play a land, they could blow it up this turn. Swing and a miss. Do they have a Blast Zone out of hand? That's not a Blast Zone. I mean, they're just dead to the Ajani, right? Thanks for the life. Whee! All right, so it's a 3-1, 4-1. Look at that. Get some gold. I think I'm pretty happy with this build. The only update I did from the last time we played it was I threw a couple of Grafdigger's Cage in our sideboard because of the Breach and Kisis combo decks that are running around in this format. I think this deck's a fine choice. I know we lost to mono red, but I think that was they drew pretty well and we ran a little bit poorly. I think in general our matchup there is pretty reasonable. Just good, clean, aggressive deck that can also grind out control decks a little bit in the back of Heliod and these various Ajanis and other planeswalkers that we have, especially with Castle and Legions landing as well. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Shadow Spear is actually useful. I feel like, what's the best way to phrase? I feel like I wouldn't play Shadow Spear before I maxed out on my payoffs, and I don't even have 4 of this card, so I'm not actually sure that it's good. Because, like, the situations in which Shadow Spear are good are situations where you already have a payoff and you've already enabled it. And, like, so I feel like I'd rather just have another threat rather than trying to make a threat that's already good better. If you were really worried about the Simic ramp matchup, I think playing some Tomics in your 75 is probably fine. Unbreakable Formation and Disenchant are probably like your flex slots in the sideboard for what you want to beat. So like turning these formations into Tomics to hedge Nissa I think is fine, but I think I'd rather keep this in here for any mid-range creature matchups that might pop up in the format. Again, Historic as a whole is still pretty underdeveloped, so getting what sideboard cards you want is a little bit hit or miss. All right, we're going to roll on into some standard next. We're going to kick the tires on Blue-Red Flash. Didn't say please. For 50 gold. All right, I might cast this card at some point for 50 gold. We'll take it. 98% off. All right, I'm going to hit a quick ad roll while I get things flipped over. When we get back, we are going to kick the tires on some Blue-Red Flash here. Be back in just a bit. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. How's the sub survey looking? I assume we've had most of the responses. the main result of the sub-survey is that I plan to move to doing Historic 5 days a week, or every stream. I'm not always on 5 days a week, but